I'm very past done at this point. Uh, Hello, welcome to Fish and Flower Podcast. I'm Flower, aka Rose. I have two fun facts. One, first, Kayla sponsored this episode. My best friend, by getting me this headphone thing to make it so my headphones work with this computer, but it didn't work. Or doesn't seem to be working. And in the process of trying to make it work, some things changed in my settings, but didn't change back properly when I changed them back. And so we've already recorded this episode. That's the other fun fact. But it didn't record my end of the conversation because of that.
It's so sad. I was so
And
funny.
I'm going to kill myself. I literally had a breakdown. It's fine. We're not going to talk about it. I already tried to talk about it, but um,
Just know I would pat you on your little head if I could.
hmm. I'm past the point of breakdown to feeling emptiness and nothing. So, the end.
We all need to tell Rose that we love her. That's the moral of the story. Rose putting in all the work for real. I just sit here and be pretty for real. I'm sorry. I know what's happening. Today's been a weird day. Um, Hi. My name is Fish, aka Stingray, and my fun fact of the day is I'm fucking insufferable. Have you noticed? Um, Also, sleep token. He he he. Giggling and kicking my feet for real. There. That's all the information, truly. That's all that really needs to be known.
Okay. This is very much a stereo conscious podcast, very similar to how we talk to each other on a daily basis. I can't speak words today. Today's episode we have Heartstopper season 2. Woo! I did pull up the Wikipedia page again so we can read this off. I will. I'm gonna pull up my clock app on my phone and I am going to time us for 10 minutes per episode. You are not allowed to go over. So you can talk about Sleep
Fuck.
Token if you want, but if you talk about Sleep Token, we can't talk about Kit Connor's arms. So you
Fuck
got options.
you. Fuck you. Why would you do that to me?
Because I know what needs to be done. And our bitch is tired and done.
I love you, but like, God. Why are you trying to be responsible? You know what? You can be responsible. It's my turn not to be responsible. We already had this conversation. You know what I'm talking about.
Someone in this household needs to be responsible. Pulls up the whole entire calendar for the next year of the podcast.
And that's why I love you.
Has a whole entire document of just books that I think would be good books for this podcast.
Listen, if we're consistent enough, maybe one day people will actually consistently listen to our podcast, right? That's the idea, right? Because that's how algorithms work, right?
Supposedly, but who fucking knows? I don't know if you know, I am keeping the name of the episode that I originally wrote out before I went to edit and then realized there was no fucking me. I'm still so mad. What even was it? I just remember it was something really funny and I loved it.
I don't know.
Heartstopper Season 2, The Return of Kit Connor's Beef. Very important. Alright, ready? Episode 1, entitled Out. Go. They got 10 minutes to talk about the episode where Nick struggles with coming out to friends and deciding to come out to Imogen. That's the bulk of what happens in this episode.
Go? Like, I don't.
Am I in charge? Do I have...
Yes, you're
Okay.
always in charge.
Okay. I think
I
you
need
agree.
someone to take care of me, obviously. Have you not figured this out?
Um. So there's like a bunch of stuff where the Imogen gets a dog. They are talking. She mentions that she has a crush on someone new. Uh. I haven't even brought up content warnings here. I'll pause the timer for content warnings. We have eating disorders, sexual assault, mental health, outing,
Here's
uh,
me interrupting you for the first time. You know that whole tangent I went on about the Paris episodes where Charlie fainted, etc. Can you just cut that and place it in? Because I can't go on that tangent again, but it needs to be said.
if I find it, yes, I'll put it in. I'll put it in the respectful place. Uh, and then we also have parents that aren't there and parents that are dead. you
Fun.
know how it is. Bullying, the character of David, the character of Ben.
I love how it's just their existence.
Yes. Math tests.
For real. 100%.
Says the person who likes math. And
You
yeah,
understand me so well, though.
I do like, Elsewhere's really fun. I would
I'm
like everyone
ignoring.
to know that I have personally come up with a decision that if I were to ever teach Stingray algebra, uh, that chemistry would be the way to do it. Chemistry formulas. Because it's
Listen.
basically algebra, but with actual, like, examples instead of just random letters. And I feel like that would work for them. Alright,
Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna unpause the timer. Okay. Um, Back to the actual episode. Elle and Tao also costume design for this whole entire season. Spectacular, especially for Elle. I will actually
Yes.
murder people for some of her outfits.
Me with Darcy, for real. And some of Nick's. I feel like that says a lot about us as people.
Yes. Elle and Tao contemplate. Like, Elle gets talked into trying to flirt with Tao to see whether or not they can become a thing. Charlie rejoins the rugby team. And also eventually does tell his parents about dating Nick. And it's very instantly that his mother is very standoffish about the idea of him dating Nick, very much being like, rugby lad, not the typical gay. And he's like, one, that's not how it works. Stereotypes, thank you very much. And two, he's bi, actually. I'm gonna say bi, actually, a lot, and I love that for me.
Boo! Charlie's mom! Boo! I have such great commentary on this show.
And the dad's just like, cool, just no more sleepovers because no hanky panky in my house. I do love that they trusted their gay son, because like they could have just not let any sleepovers happen, cause gay, and so.
Translation: Charlie's dad trusts him and
Yes.
outwardly shows more affection than his mother.
Yes. So, a lot of the episode's focus is Nick gathering the courage to try to come out to at least one friend. He eventually, so there's like a sleepover at Charlie's. There's like a bunch of montages of them being cute, whatever. It's not that important. It's just really cute.
It's very important. Just, it's so personal to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Imogen comes over, where Isaac and Tara and Darcy and Elle and Tao and Charlie and Nick are to Charlie's house, because his parents are away and whatnot. And they're having like a big giant sleepover in the living room, and she comes over, and it's like Nick's gonna decide to come out to her, so eventually, he gets to the point. There's also like a bit where Elle and Tao are talking, and Elle has decided she's going to try to apply to a more like prestigious type art school type thing. But like it's further away and whatnot, and so Tao's upset because like he feels like she's abandoning him. He has a very important thing with like keeping his friends close. We learned in a later episode is because his dad died when he was young, and so to keep people there, he like that's why he's so big on friendship constantly.
So relatable, Tao. For real.
Honestly, especially to me, God.
But there's also, during this scene where they're talking about Elle going to Lambert and stuff, they're talking about her art, obviously, and Tao's like, he basically, what's the word?
Pay me like a French
reenacts the Titanic, so once again, I never have to watch the Titanic. I've seen the Titanic, it's amazing. Thank you, Tao Su.
You know, it is a good movie.
But also, in between this, there is a point where Nick, Imogen, and Charlie are standing in the kitchen at the sink, and the shot comes in with a shot of all their backs, and I just have to say, I love it. You know?
Yes. So, basically, eventually, near the end of the night, almost, Imogen goes to go to the bathroom, and he's like, here, I'll show you the way. It's literally just at the top of the stairs.
She has a cupcake here on the scene before she goes to the bathroom, and, like, the cupcake looks so good. Thank you.
Okay. And so, she's like, and so he blocks the door. He's like, hey, I have to tell you something. And she instantly comes out. Is like, you and Charlie are a thing. You're gay. That's why you've never liked me, because you're gay. It's okay.
Ugh.
I already knew. And he's like, well, I'm bi, actually, but yes. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. And then she's like, well, I guess, I don't know who brings up, like, about her saying who her new crush is and whatnot. But basically we
Nick
learned,
does.
we learned that her crush is fucking Ben.
You've taken over the fucking blank joke. I love you.
And we
Fucking
got
Ben.
time in talking about this episode for me to go off tangent and say that at one point in the show, in the season, Ben wears a red jacket. Stingray said, this is very important, it still got me brought up. Stingray said something about Ben looking nice in red, though, and I went, you know what else red he would look nice in? His blood. That's the level of energy I'm giving 99% of the time. Not right now, because the only blood I'm seeing is mine.
It's
you know,
okay.
It's fitting for this episode, it's fitting for the show, so it's fine. That joke can stay, but that's the Taurus energy I'm just living currently in my life.
It's okay. You just really love Mardar. You just relate so hard to Mardar. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's fine. We don't need to talk about it. Is there anything else that happens in the first episode that we should talk about?
At the end, Charlie and Tori are having a conversation after everybody goes home. Also, Nick and Charlie have their first kiss in front of other people on Charlie's front porch before everyone goes, and it's in front of their friends. And every single time I watch it, I'm like, Nick, you better turn the fuck around and kiss your boyfriend, and then he turns around and kisses his boyfriend, and hell yeah!
But yeah, after everyone leaves, Nick is walking home, and it's like cut with Charlie talking to Tori about how he wants Nick's coming out experience to be the best experience ever, and like he doesn't want him to go through all the bullying he went through and all the stuff. He wants it to be perfect. And she's very much there, like, yeah, but like, you shouldn't hurt yourself in the process of doing that, like, all the time.
It's okay to want these things as long as it's not detrimental to your own health, which it is a lot of the times because of how Charlie is as a person.
Yes. But also,
which understandable, but still, little tiny baby Charlie don't deserve that.
There's just like no way it can be perfect, so like.
Yes.
Sadly.
And it's just cutting between that conversation and Nick walking home being so fucking happy, and it's gut wrenching.
Yeah.
For real.
You got exactly 2 minutes left. You got anything else to say? You just talk about
Kit Connor.
Oh, okay.
Kit Connor.
Connor's biceps. Dude, whoever, like, can someone please just slightly loosen the shirt for the school uniform for Nick Nielsen? Because...
No, they can't. They physically cannot do that.
Also, he does have a beefcake in this season.
A what?
A beefcake. I'm saying he's got a nice ass.
Why can't you be normal? Why can't you just say, oh, Kit Connor has a nice ass? Like, I don't know.
Listen, I'm the same person who's gonna bring up French papa, so, like...
Fuck.
Did you forget about French papa? I didn't.
I could tell that you didn't. Did you forget? Oh my god, did you forget about chicken?
The time that I said Charlie and Nick too fast, so I said chicken instead. Yeah. God.
The fact we don't have that recorded is so fucking devastating.
I know. Why do you think I sobbed for a good 20 minutes last night? 20 minutes, my ass. Speaking of ass, Nick's ass. The end.
Cut to the part of the Teen Vogue video where not Nick, Kit Connor is trying to go down the slide. He's like, my ass is too big.
He understands.
I should send that to you so I can cut it into the YouTube video.
That'd be funny. Oh my god. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. There's 15 seconds on this timer, so.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, let's go. Episode 2, titled Family. So basically, it's like a parent-teacher conference is how episode 2 starts, and we basically learn that Nick's doing a good job, and Charlie, has not turned in most of his assignments because he's spending so much time with Nick trying to help him out with,
Me.
his assignments, because there's also, like, a thing where, basically, like, American SATs, I think, is what's happening, and so, for Nick, because, like, he's a grade ahead, and so they don't have like homeroom with each other anymore, which is why he's spending so much time at his house so they can see each other and whatnot. And so like Charlie has a limited amount of time to finish all this stuff. And his mom is very upset about this, and so literally yells at him and is like, "You have to go cold turkey from Nick." And his dad's like, "Not cold turkey." And she's like, "Cold turkey." Um,
Boo
and
Charlie's mom for real.
Yeah, to get it done, which is great because then he starts sneaking out. There's two main instances of sneaking out. One of them has to do with another new character, uh, David, the brother
Boo David, even worse
of
than
Nick.
boo Charlie's mom. I don't even
I
remember her fucking name. I don't care about
don't
her
either. Does
fucking
she
name.
have a name? Okay.
No. It's
Okay.
not, it doesn't matter.
Um, David is his brother who's in college, who's home, on vacation, and literally the first thing he says when he sees, Nick is, "Hey, you got a girlfriend yet?" And then Nick just looks to his mom because his mom knows that he's bi and is dating Charlie, and so they just look at each other. And then he's like, "I'm taking that as a no," and then leaves. And then there's another point where Nick's up in his room, with the door closed, studying for the test, right? And his brother just storms in and is like lifting up all his notes and looking at them, which would piss me off too. And whatnot, and then he sees a message on Nick's phone from Charlie, and all it says is Charlie and then three heart emojis, so he just assumes it's Nick's girlfriend, and he's like, "Listen, if you do have a girlfriend, I have to meet her first so I can, like, give whether or not, so I can approve of her and whatnot," which was so dumb, but also another important thing is that from the end of the last episode of season 1, there is a photo of Nick and Charlie at the beach on his wall. Cough cough, you may have seen it. So, Elle is visiting the art school called Lambert, and gets new friends. It is not confirmed whether or not Felix is non-binary or what pronouns Felix uses. But like, you know,
I heard they the one
I heard
time.
I did too, so I'm gonna go with they.
One time because like
Yeah, and
Felix gets paid dust for real.
yeah, and then I don't remember uh who.
I love how we know Felix's name, but that's it. But we don't remember the other girl's name at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Or the people that Elle befriends.
Is it Naomi? Am
Maybe.
I crazy?
Possibly.
I don't
And
know.
she is also a transgender woman, so they have a whole conversation, very sweet, about wanting to go to this school where they get to be just this person. Maybe it is Naomi. And not just be the transgender girl, right? Which Elle relates to. Very sweet, finding people who understand her in a way that her other friends can't. And Tao starts to feel jealous. Um,
Valid, but also not valid at the same time,
Yes.
unfortunately.
So there's also like a scene where Charlie buys Nick's favorite candy bar for their 2-month anniversary, and takes
And then
it
they
to him in the
make out
locker
in some
room.
fucking locker room.
Yeah, and then they make out, and someone's in there and doesn't hear somehow.
I'm sorry, but Nick's whole voice in that scene, I will bash my head against the wall. If you don't know, if you haven't learned, I have a thing for Kit Connor's voice. You can hear me
Lamborghini.
yell, yeah! And how he says Lamborghini in episode, 3 of
Mhm.
first season, and then how he's, the whole milkshake conversation, how his voice sounds there in season 1. Also in season 1 where at the park where the whole oi and like that, his whole voice in that scene just, you know?
Yeah.
I'm so normal.
So, in
Just the way he
another.
pronounces things and the way just him.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
in another convenience store scene, Tao goes up to Isaac and Charlie, being like, "I like Elle, and I have to do something about it." So they're gonna come up with a plan. He does this after having a conversation with his mom, where his mom is like, "You have to fight to keep her as a friend." Or whatnot. After she sees photos on his phone of him seeing Elle at this event with these friends, and her being like, "Oh, Elle's so cute." We love Tao's mom. Tao's mom,
For real.
10 out of 10. Their relationship is very sweet when Elle and Tao
Listen,
do
the
get
only
together.
valid parents are really just Sarah and Tao's mom, and then like Elle's parents, but like we don't really see
We see them
them.
for like 5 seconds. We do get to see her mom being supportive of like
Yes,
her outfits and whatnot, which we appreciate. Um, but
but we
basically,
see the rest of the other two more, so it's like
yeah.
beloved for
Uh,
real.
but Tao's mom, like when Tao and Elle start kind of dating, she like straight up goes to hug him and he's like lifting her in the air and it was very cute. Um, so basically, so there's two scenes where Charlie sneaks out. One of them, they go to the park, to make out in the park. It's not important. The other one, they
Yes, it is important because you're literally okay. The parallel between Nick being too scared to kiss him in the park, then Nick kissing, full on making out with this man's in the park. Like, hello, like they're not kissing, they're fucking making out
okay.
on the ground in the park. Like every time they kiss in this season, they just go at it. I'm like, you can calm down just a little bit. It'll be okay. No one's going anywhere. I promise.
Um, so, uh, the other time is he goes to Nick's house. Nick asks if he's hungry. He's like, "Nah, I'll eat dinner at home." And then, but he's like, "I'll take some tea." So Nick goes to make tea, and when he's making tea, David comes in, and he's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, I'm Charlie."
Fucking David.
And then, Nick comes in. He's like, "Dude, get the fuck out!" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, I just want to meet the guy who turned my little bro gay." And it's like a bunch of homophobic shit. It's saying a bunch of stuff like, "Really, you're bisexual? Can you believe that, mom? Like, why is he saying this?" And his mom gets mad at him for good reason. Um, and whatnot. Charlie leaves.
You
Goes.
know, I've noticed it's a common thing where, especially if there's like two siblings, one is always like really gross and hateful, and the other one's like a fucking normal person. Have you noticed that?
Hmm, um.
Because there's me, I exist, and then my brother acts exactly like David.
Um. So Charlie goes home.
Or is that just a coincidence and I'm just stupid?
Uh-huh. So,
Thanks.
I listen, we got limited time. I'm trying to get this done. Um, Charlie goes home. His mom, instantly knows that he was out with Nick and is like, "You're grounded until the end of the term. If you continue to see Nick, you can't go on the Paris trip." And then, his dad's like, "Hey, you hungry? You want dinner?" He's like, "No, I ate at Nick's."
What if I
Kappa.
do something so drastic?
Um, Ben, so Ben and Imogen are dating. Nick is worried for Imogen, and so it's like, "Hey, Ben's
Nick
doing
bad.
some
I mean,
shitty things."
fuck. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Okay. I should also mention, like, Ben and Nick are assigned seats next to each other for the
We forgot
wedding.
about Mr. Farouk.
Mr. Farouk is cool. They're assigned seats
We
next
love
to each
Mr.
other,
Farouk for real.
and
The one
Ben.
and only Mr. Farouk. I'm doing a heart.
Okay, Ben complains to Nick for being mad at him for dating Charlie first, quote unquote. And Nick straight up says, "No, I don't like you because you literally assaulted him." And then Ben looks at him like, "What the fuck
Say
are
it
you
straight
talking
up,
about?"
Bestie, for real.
And then there's also another scene where, because you're not allowed to talk during study, they get sent to a separate room, where Ben basically explains, we're not that much, we're the same people, all this stuff. And like it kind of hurts Nick because like he's worried. But
Hear
basically,
me out. Nick and Ben are not in any way similar.
yeah.
Thank you.
But basically, Imogen's like, "What do you mean he's not a good guy?" But he like can't say anything because then like it's outing Ben, so he doesn't say.
Because he's a good person, unlike somebody else in this situation.
Yeah. So basically, he just tries to keep an eye on Libby whatnot, and meanwhile, she's clearly very standoffish. Afterwards, for a bit.
I
Yeah.
mean, rightfully so, because like there's someone saying that, hey, your boyfriend's not a good person, but I can't tell you why, and it just seems really weird, you know?
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's basically that whole episode. We have 27 seconds left on the timer.
Just go. Those extra few seconds can go to something else for real.
Okay. Episode 3. Charlie finishes the work that he hasn't finished yet. 5 minutes before stew. We love that
So
part.
me-coded, for real.
Nick takes his exams, and succeeds. Um, there's a bonfire to celebrate after
Oh,
he
fuck.
checked. Yeah. Um,
The
there,
shirt that Nick's wearing at this party,
pink.
chef
No, wait, it's
kiss.
not the pink one. The pink one is the art show. So,
It's the color block green and navy one.
okay.
You can't see colors, never mind.
Yeah. Um, so, before the bonfire, though, there's like also like the guys who invite him to the bonfire are like the rugby lads, and they come up to him, and he's like, "Listen, I get you're not Harry, but still." And they're like, "We know we should have like stood up to him, and we're sorry, but like, we don't think the things that Harry says." Um, and then they invite him, and he's like, "You." They're like, "You can bring Charlie." And it's very clear they know, but they don't want to make it obvious that they know, type thing going on.
Oh, and this is where the good mates montage happens.
Yeah.
It's so
So
funny.
yeah. So there's also like before the bonfire, there is a meeting about the Paris trip. Uh, there's also like a whole bunch of stuff about proms a thing in the season. I'll bring it up when it becomes porn.
Hey,
But
well,
basic,
this is how Sahar comes in.
yes,
I love Sahar.
there's
The girl who plays Sahar is so beautiful. Like, hello, hi.
um, but Farouk and
Mr. Jai.
yeah, thank you. I was trying to remember his name. Um,
How
are the
could you not remember
chaperones.
the Mr. Iconic Mr. Jai, for real?
Dude, I confuse Nick and Charlie all the time. Who do you think you're
You know
talking
what?
to?
So do I. It's okay. My brain's thinking too fast for my mouth, and I just be saying shit, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm so excited.
So, there's a Paris trip. There's like a whole thing where everyone complains because they say straight up, it's like you can't mix up genders for, um, rooming. You know, one thing I appreciated, which I didn't bring up the first time we recorded this, the fact that Elle automatically gets assigned to the, female dorms or female hotel rooms.
Yes.
Like it's not even a question. You know, and it's like not even brought up as a thing. It's just she's automatically there. Like we
As she
love it.
should be.
We love it. So basically everyone complains. They're like, oh no, we can't mix up genders in the rooms. Meanwhile, all the gays are at one table just laughing. Um, so they go to the bonfire. Tao is not at the event or at the meeting because he was getting his hair cut and getting flowers for Elle. Asks her to a date to the cinema. He takes her to
And
see
this
her.
is when I say, why did everyone hate Tal's hair before? Because it fit him so well. That was so Tal coated, and like, yes, Will Gao himself looks really nice with his hair cut, like normally, but like the way they styled his hair for the show was so Tal coated, and it was perfect. So why did they? Everyone hated his hair, and I don't know why. Thank you.
Um, so he asks her out. She says yes. They go to the cinema. He gets tickets to her favorite movie, which then he doesn't really like it. So it's like a bunch of like weird stuff where he's like saying things about her favorite movie. And she's side eyeing him because she's like, you could have chosen something that we both enjoyed. And whatnot. And afterwards they go to the bonfire. So at the bonfire, Nick plans to come out to his rugby friends, but keeps on getting interrupted by Harry, and then has a panic attack. At which point, Charlie recognizes it and is like, "Hey, we can forget about coming out. We could just be us."
Also, obviously, Nick, fuck! Words, English, brain, work. Tao and Elle have a fight, and then, because the date didn't go very well, then Charlie runs into Tao, and Tao's like, I'm fundamentally unlikable as a person, and they have a best friend moment, because Tao, like, if I could rip Tao at that motherfucking screen, I would just whack some sense into his little tiny brain, because Tao, my beloved, you know? Please don't think those things, you know? Like, you just don't. And also, Charlie also tells Harry off at this party, which I love him. I'm so proud of Charlie, for real.
Yes. Um. Basically, Elle and Tao get in a fight because Elle invited possibly Naomi, Naomi and Felix to the bonfire. And he's like, you invited your other friends, like you're pushing us away, all this stuff. And she's like, You said
Oh, I forgot to mention. I've only watched this season 3 times now for my own mental health. The first season I've watched too many times. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. So it's basically a fight over like friendship and blah blah blah. Whatnot. And
How, quote, romance should not be involved and stuff like that.
yeah. Um, Good times. Uh, but yeah. Nick and Charlie decide to just take it easy on the coming out stuff.
Yeah, they go home and and then they're just laying in Nick's bed, and Nick is so cuddly, and I,
It's true.
it's so personal to me. Like, it's all so personal. Okay, like, I'm normal.
Are we done for this episode?
I guess so.
That is an extra 4 minutes.
Go, 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 go! Just add it to the timer.
Just add it to the timer. We get an extra minute from the extra second from the previous two as well, so we're at 15 minutes.
Are you proud of me?
Yeah, let's go. Episode 4 is the beginning of the Paris trip. So, to like distance themselves to make it so it doesn't look obvious that they're together, Nick sits with Tao and Charlie sits with Isaac. And then the four of them room. Isaac automatically takes one bed, Tao takes the other bed, so that Charlie and Nick don't have to share a bed, is Tao's explanation, because he's like, I know you will be stressed about this, despite the fact that Nick and Charlie have already talked about how they were excited to share a bed.
It's fine, we're fine. My knee hurts.
And then Tara, Darcy, Elle, and Sahar are,
Sahar!
She's in a hotel room.
Hey, do you think I like women or something? Do you think I think women are attractive or something?
Oh, maybe. Imogen wears beret and very nice outfits in France.
As she should. That's so Imogen coded for real. Yes. No one else wears a beret but Imogen, and I love her for that.
Also on the bus ride, to France, there is also a thing where Nick is talking on the phone with his dad, because, French Papa lives in Paris, so, like, they can meet up with each other, and so he's talking to his French Papa in French on the phone, and Tao is sitting next to him and takes out his headphones, and is like, what the fuck? And he's like, my dad's French. The first of 3 great
No, he literally turns. The way he turns is so fucking hilarious. He turns, yes. He's like, what the hell was that? And it's just, I love Halsu.
Another thing that I've also forgotten to bring up is the fact that, Tara told Darcy she loves her, and Darcy just moved on and keeps on trying to ignore the issue whenever Tara tries to bring it up. That's the thing.
I literally deleted that information from my brain because it pisses me off. Like, I understand why, but, like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. So, first day of Paris is basically when you go, like, you can't go somewhere on your own, like, you have to at least do a buddy system type thing. But, like, go around Paris and have a good time. And Elle and Tao are the only ones who want to see this, gallery, museum type place.
Museum?
Yeah. God. So they go together. They go together, and eventually they make up, and, like, as soon as they're, like, going through the front door, Tao's like, listen, I'm sorry, we should just be friends and all this stuff, and yeah. So there's, like, a lot of walking around France, and whatnot. At one point, Nick is getting ice cream, and Darcy and Sahar as well, and maybe someone else, Isaac probably, are there, and he instantly is just talking to the ice cream vendor in French, and whatnot, and Darcy.
And the ice cream vendor's like, your French is so good, like, blah, 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 and he's like, oh yeah, I'm with the school, blah, 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 and it's just like.
And then Darcy's like, oh my god, you speak French? And he's like, yeah, my dad's French, like, from France. My dad's French. And she's like, since when? And he's like, since birth? Iconic.
Everyone's delivery in this scene fucking amazing, especially kids. Like, hey, does the universe know that I love Kit Connor?
Yes.
And Kit Connor's voice.
So while
and just everything about Kit.
While this is happening, Charlie and Tara are sitting on some steps, and they're, like, talking about how they're jealous of each other's relationships for certain reasons. Charlie's jealous of Tara and Darcy because they are proud and out, and get to, like, hold hands in public and whatnot. And Tara's jealous of their ability to communicate, because whenever she tries to bring up, hard conversations to Darcy, Darcy seems to, like, emotionally run away.
Bringing up the fact, why do lesbians have such a hard time, expressing their feelings? Why are, like, the majority of us not emotionally intelligent and like we're emotionally unhealthy in the sense that we can't express anything? Are we good?
Probably
The answer's
not.
no, but like I hope for better for us in the future, for real.
So, Imogen, has been going around France with Ben. But, like, Ben's, like, ignoring her
Boo.
and being rude and
Because
whatnot.
he's an asshole.
So she's just leaves him behind and hangs out
As
with
she
the other
should.
friend group. Also, I would like everyone to know when he gives Charlie ice cream, and Charlie's like, "Well, I ate breakfast," and he's like, "Well, not that much breakfast." And then, also there's a comment about how Nick is not eating bubblegum ice cream. But Charlie gets chocolate ice cream on his nose, and then Nick cleans it up
Yes.
with his thumb and then licks it.
Yeah, that changed something in my brain chemistry, for real.
Okay. So, later on, they're, like, at this restaurant, French restaurant in Paris.
Oh,
And
there's a scene when we first get to the scene, it basically cuts to Mr. Farouk talking to this waiter, like, furiously in French, and then he's like, "I'm serious, man, no onions, I get bloated," or something like that, and I love him.
Yes.
I just love Mr. Farouk.
Yes.
The teachers, my beloved. I would be I would be the teacher's pet for real. I would walk in the hall, give them both fist bumps, and move on with my life. All the teachers always used to love me. They would love me too. I just know it.
So, it's, like, basically this long table thing where they all sit together in this long table. And for some fucking reason, Ben sits next to Charlie. Also, there's a very funny part where Tao's eating escargot. Not really a part, but I thought I'd bring
Also,
it up.
Nick is like egging him on and stuff, and I'm just like that, and then like the rugby montage from the first season, but specifically when uh Nick has his arm around someone and like patting them. That and the way Nick is acting in that scene is so like jock frat boy coded, and I could just see Nick Nelson as a frat boy, honestly, in college. Like, I just see it. I just could see it so vividly. Like, should I just read a fan fiction where Nick Nelson is a frat boy? Because, like, I could just see it.
Ben tries to talk to Charlie.
I feel like reading fan fiction about them would be wrong, though. Like, I feel like it just feels fundamentally wrong. Like, I don't know.
So Ben and Charlie sit next to each other. Ben is trying to talk to Charlie. Charlie is very clearly uncomfortable for...
Pause. When Nick tried to say hi to Ben in the hall in the first season, he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? I don't even know you." And this time he's like, they're in public, sitting next to each other, and he's like, "We haven't talked properly in ages." Ben, make up your fucking mind, you asshole.
Yeah, and then at a later point when he's talking to Nick, he straight up says that Nick stole his boyfriend.
And when the one time Charlie referred to Ben as his boyfriend to Ben's face, he's like, "We're not fucking boyfriend," you know?
Yeah. So Charlie's very clearly uncomfortable by this. And Nick is very worried, and then Imogen notices. And very publicly, like, the rest of the whole entire restaurant goes completely silent. And very publicly, he's like, "What is your obsession with Charlie? Like, what the fuck? You are not a good boyfriend. You don't care about me. Like, you need some serious help. Like, you gotta figure some shit out before you should be."
Your vibes are up.
Your vibes are up. I deserve better. You know. And Ben's reply.
And she's right.
Ben's reply is like something like, "You don't have to date me, but you don't have to be a bitch about it." And then Harry
Green, Harry fucking Green.
Says,
Everybody,
"Don't call her a bitch," and stuff like that, like standing up for. What the hell? And then Ben storms out.
Listen, if Harry Green is telling you you're doing something wrong, you fucked up. Like, what the fuck? The first time I saw that, I had to literally pause it, sit there for a minute, rewind multiple times to make sure I heard everybody right. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, Harry Green is telling you you're doing too much. Like, I gotta go. Like,
So Ben storms out of the restaurant. We don't know where he went. Imogen goes to
he's
the
so
bathroom.
dramatic. Like, he's
Yeah, I
even
know, right?
more dramatic than I am. It's kind of embarrassing for him, for real.
Imogen goes to the bathroom to cry. Nick and Charlie
She's so
follow
real.
her. They have a hug sesh. Yeah. And then everyone returns back to the hotel. And at this point, Nick and Charlie are in the hotel room alone. And so they're making out, they're kissing, they're tackling, blah blah blah. Nick starts kissing Charlie's neck. It's very cute. They cuddle all night long, and then Charlie wakes up earlier than everyone else, goes to the bathroom, and looks in the mirror and notices a hickey on his neck, and then says, "What the fuck?" And that's where the episode cuts.
They were so real for that cut too. I love them for that.
Do you have anything else to say about this episode?
It's amazing.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
No. Not that I know of.
That took exactly 10 minutes for that episode, so we still have an extra 5 minutes.
Go, go, go!
My scroll reel does not work properly. Don't worry, I had the timer paused for that. My scroll reel does not work properly sometimes. Next episode. So, he texts Nick to come in, and Nick's like, oh my god, what's wrong? Goes in, and he's like, oh my god, did I do that?
I don't even know how to do that. Like, what?
Yep.
The way they acted this scene, I love them. Perfect.
Everyone just
Stop being talented.
Thank you. Everyone just assumes that this James, the only other guy, is the one who made the hickey.
We have to talk about Tao. Because, like, Tao gets up. He's like, why the fuck are both of y'all in the bathroom? And then Tao goes dad mode. And it's so... perfect. Well, gal, thank you for your service, for real. But then, obviously, Elle knocks on the door. And Tao goes to the door. Tao opens the door. Sees Elle there. Goes to cover himself up because he's shirtless. And it's... oh, my God.
He's holding his tits, for real.
He gets it.
He gets it. Yeah.
I love them all. They're so good at what they do.
Yeah, so there's,
Thank everybody for their service, for real.
There's a lot of speculation that James is the one that gave him the hickey.
I don't like James. Don't ask me why, I just don't.
James, currently has a thing for Isaac. We will talk about it. There's a bunch of stuff of going to the Eiffel Tower in this episode. Before going to the Eiffel Tower, they have to fill out this worksheet where Ben and Nick are assigned as partners, where Ben instantly says, I want to be partnered with Nick.
And Mr. Farouk says, and I quote, I don't give a rat's ass, rude boy. I love him.
Yeah. This is where, he literally says that Nick stole his boyfriend, and, like, what if I want him back and all this stuff. And Nick's like, what the fuck?
Kill yourself. He doesn't say that because Nick is a good person.
Not me, though. And Ben walks away, more like storms away. Everyone goes up on the Eiffel Tower.
He's so dramatic. Like, it's kind of embarrassing. Like, now, even I'm not that dramatic.
I would like everyone to know, 1, it is Tara's birthday. 2, Charlie didn't eat anything for breakfast, and he didn't eat really anything the night before with all the Ben stuff at dinner.
And obviously, they're in Paris. There's a lot of walking and exercise, and it's warm and going, you know?
And Nick has noticed this. Cough, cough,
and
cough.
Now they went up and down the Eiffel Tower completely, and that's a lot of fucking steps. So.
Yeah. So, up on the top of the Eiffel Tower, they're talking, whatnot, and a bunch of the rugby lads sees them, and he's like, hey, Nick, you the one that gave Charlie the hickey? And he's like, so what if I am? You want some?
He says, you jealous.
You jealous? And then Harry tells the rugby lads to leave them alone and stop it. What the hell?
Wait, should mention that before they go up there, Isaac was lecturing Harry.
Yes.
So.
About having empathy and actually, like, caring for people and whatnot. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that we do get to see him somewhat changing, so we could,
get to the scene
process,
with him wearing a High School Musical skirt cheerleader outfit in Nick and Charlie.
Yes.
So, there's also, like, a heart bridge, or a lock bridge where you put locks with your names, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So, Charlie has bought one for him and Nick, and Tao comes over, and he's like, that's cool, and he's like, oh, you can get them over there, and then Tao's like, well, I don't think Elle and I are gonna be a thing, I just, ruin everything. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I ruin to Elle and me, just myself, and you, and he's like, what are you talking about? And this is where Tao tells him that right after Charlie came out to Tao and Isaac and Tao were talking about him, and someone overheard, and that is why how he was outed, and all the bullying happened.
Hear me
And
out.
Charlie's like, "Bitch, not your fault."
I like how they dealt with this better in the show than in the graphic novel.
I don't know, it's been a whole fucking year for me, so I don't know. I don't remember the graphic
There's
novel.
a few things that I feel like that on, honestly. It's that and then like a couple other things, but I can't really think of them off the top of my head right now.
But yeah, basically it's a lot of Charlie being like, "That's not your fault. Like the chances of that happening are super low. It's not your fault." Um, and all this stuff. And they hug, and he puts Tao and his name down on the lock, and he hangs it up, and it's very sweet.
I'm pretty sure it's like actually still there too. Like you can go see it.
Um,
Unless people are fucking weird and did something to
so,
it.
the class goes
Unfortunately,
to,
I mean, hopefully they don't,
the class goes to a museum gallery thing.
Museum.
Museum? um,
Every single time you say that word from now on, I'm gonna jump on your ass, I swear.
I don't even know how I say it weird. I just say museum.
Listen to how I say museum. You say museum or something fucked up like that.
Museum.
No. Incorrect.
That's how you say museum.
Once again, I'm bullying Rose from being from the north. Thank you. Do you say pea can too? You want to pee in a can, Rose?
What? Is it pecan or pecan? That's the real question.
Pecan.
I call them pecans, but I call it pecan pie.
Why are you? Ew, why? What the fuck is wrong with you?
So many things.
Yeah, I know. What the fuck?
So
Go.
They're at this museum. There's a lot of walking around. Elle and Tao go off.
You want me to pee in a can and put it in your pie, Rose? Okay. That can be arranged. I'll mail it to you.
That's so weird. So Tao and Elle go on their own. And there's some stuff happens, but basically the moral of the story is that Charlie gets lightheaded and dizzy from not eating, and ends up passing out in Nick's arms.
Here's where we cut to, if you can find my ranting about this part. If you could put that in right now, that'd be great, bestie.
I hope I can find it. Really do.
I have thoughts and opinions about this. Lots of people don't like the eating disorder representation in Heartstopper because it, like, quote unquote came out of nowhere, or it's romanticized because he fell into his boyfriend's arms. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, just shut the fuck up. Nick caught him because Nick fucking pays attention to what's going on around him and is in tune with his fucking boyfriend. Yes, because he can perceive and he pays attention enough to know when something's fucking wrong with his fucking boyfriend, like a normal fucking partner. Also, I'm pressed. And I'm just trying to think about what part of the representation is, in fact, not good. Because we don't get graphic depictions of him not eating. Yes, he faints, but it makes sense for what's going on and happening in this situation. But we don't see him, like, obsessively counting calories or not eating, like, we don't see that graphically. We don't see him constantly weighing himself or over-exercising or anything like that. We don't see it graphically. And I think everyone's so used to seeing it graphically, so it's like, oh, it's being romanticized because it's not fucking graphic. Um, and oh, his boyfriend catches him, so it's like, no, because the point of Charlie and his eating disorder and just his mental health as a whole is not just because he has it. It's to show that recovery is fucking possible, and it's a thing that is achievable for anybody, and that you do deserve to get help, and you should get help, and you do deserve to get better, and it is possible, but recovery is not linear, and obviously, we're only on season 2, therefore we can't get the full story and full arc of this yet, because this is all that we have, because they haven't fucking done the thing yet. But if you look in the comics, I always call it comics, graphic novels, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it's laid out perfectly. And I feel like a lot of people go into Heartstopper not realizing these things are going to happen. And then they do. And a lot of these people definitely have these problems because mental health is a very big thing that occurs for gay people, LGBT people as a whole. Therefore, when this happens, they see this, and it's not over dramatic, it's not graphic, it's not like crazy, and it's just, and then we see Charlie get better, and I feel like a lot of people, that could really make a lot of people realize that maybe they don't realize that maybe that's what's happening to them, but then they see this and they're like, oh, I'm dealing with this thing. It's worse than I thought. Someone could help me, and like, I have very strong thoughts and opinions on this section of Heartstopper. Can you tell?
Basically, Isaac is the one that goes and gets the teachers, literally runs for it. Love Isaac for that. And basically Charlie's like, I haven't eaten probably, I'm sorry.
Hold on, pause, because before we see Isaac get to the teachers, Mr. Farouk and Mr. Ajay are like at this painting, and they're like, and Mr. Ajay's like, you look exactly like the dude in the painting, and Mr. Farouk's like, no, I don't. He's like, go up there and pose like the painting, I'll show you. And I love them. Yes. I love them for real.
Mr. Farouk buys Charlie like baguette sandwich type thing. And Nick stays with him and like make sure
he also gives them a fist bump. I love him. Mr. Yes. Farouk. I love you.
So yeah, that happens. And then I would like everyone to know it cuts from Charlie passing out to Tao and Elle having a conversation, and then she kisses him, and then goes to walk away, and he's like, no, and then they kiss some more, and it's very sweet, and there's a foot pop, and then we get, oh, Charlie's fine.
I mean, I don't think I think it's, everyone's like, oh yeah, Charlie's fine afterwards, so it's like blah, 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 blah. No, I don't think Charlie is fine, but he's just pretending like he is, because that's the type of person he is.
Yeah.
And it's not like he's just magically better after he ate a little bit. Like, no, that's not how. Yeah, he's just pretending to feel okay. Because when you faint afterwards, you feel like shit, no matter what you do.
There's so much that goes on in this episode. So.
Good thing we have extra time.
Yeah, I know, right? So. I don't know when exactly in this episode this happens, but Charlie. So Nick's like, okay, I've noticed some weird things, like you not eating.
It's after the teachers leave and they're sitting at the table and he's eating a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like, I've noticed some things. There's hints at Charlie's OCD from the books, from the way that he's picking at his arm and whatnot, which we appreciate. Which I think I 100% feel like it was on purpose because the way the camera angle was.
Yes, it's on purpose.
Yes. So that's happening, and Charlie basically explains it as it started when he was outed and the bullying was happening, and it was the one thing he couldn't control, and so when things get hard,
fine.
He controls it with that.
I'm
My
so
allergies
normal.
are so bad.
My nose is like running too, and I don't know why. I mean, I was crying earlier about 4 from Sleep Token, but like, look at the specimen. I mean, come on now.
I feel like we should get a swear jar, but instead of a swear jar, it's a Sleep Token jar. So every time you bring up Sleep Token, you gotta put money in the jar.
I don't even have any money to put in the damn jar. I would be in the fucking negatives in my non-existent bank account.
And then Sleep Token could be our official sponsor. With that
That would
thought.
never fucking happen to me. Don't even. Could you imagine somehow I just, like, I don't know, popped up one day and opened up for my tour? I'm joking. That's a joke. That would, oh my god. Could
So
you
yeah.
imagine if I called you one day being, hey, guess what? I'm magically somehow going on tour even though I've never produced and or put out a song in my entire life and I'm just opening up for Sleep Token. Could you believe it?
I love how we have the 5 extra minutes because we're definitely using them right now. So, Charlie apologizes and Nick holds his hand and he's just like, I want to support you. They go around the gallery some more, when French Papa calls. And so Nick's talking on the phone.
He calls chicken, yeah.
Yeah, so he calls and Nick's talking in French to French Papa, and Charlie's just like, oh! And Nick's like, wait a second.
I really wish they would have left the line from the comic. I always call it comic, whatever you, where Charlie's like, I want to push you up against the wall, because he's just, like, not thinking, he's just speaking, like, hello?
Yeah.
That would have been like, oh my god.
So, Nick's like, wait a second, are you into the fact that I can speak French? It's like, oh, no, I'm not into you at all. There's
And he's like, mon
tackling,
amour, I'm like,
and we love it.
I love them.
They,
Mon amour, you're so cringe!
Yes. I also
get it.
have to bring up something else that I didn't bring up earlier, which is at the breakfast, the way that the scene
Oh, fucking hell.
with
Yep.
Nick and Charlie talking is behind them in the direct center, not focused on them at all, was Ben. And this is why I call him the fucking boogeyman. The way that man comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, did you see that edit from the first season that was like Heartstopper as a horror/thriller? I feel like that'd be very easy, like even easier to edit out of the second season.
Yeah.
Someone do that. Thank you.
So, Nick brings up the idea of introducing Charlie to French Papa, which is where the next episode starts. Do you have anything else to talk about this episode?
No, I don't think so. I love them.
We got 3 extra minutes, so we only use up 2 of our extra minutes.
Go.
I'm gonna take a break real quick and go get allergy meds.
Should I go check the mail?
Yeah, you go check mail. I get allergy meds. I'm dying.
Oh, it's good. It's getting hot in here. So, hi, puppy. Hi. She's scared. I scared her. She's like, what the fuck? Smells like dog breath. The mail came.
Did the book?
No.
Oh.
Hear me out. I don't think they're going to stop back by before 9 p.m. because they always deliver our mail from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if they lost my fucking book, I'm going to kill somebody.
I'm going to put on the heating pad because there's this one spot in my back. Feels like someone's stabbing me every time I take a breath. Oh, my back. Country road, take me home. I was randomly thinking about this while I was getting my Zyrtec. I'm not sponsored. I wish. Zyrtec could sponsor my life, honestly. I was like, oh yeah, so did I ever, because I was thinking about how this episode for the YouTube video may be up a few hours later than Spotify, which is not the first time it's happened, so it's not the biggest deal. As long as it's like up the same day, I don't care. But did I tell you why last week's was a few hours later than the Spotify? Despite the fact that I had it all done as had scheduled and everything, and was like smart about it. No. It's because I accidentally scheduled the YouTube video for the Saturday, like my YouTube videos.
Oh my god.
So after like 10 o'clock in the morning, like 11 noon, I went to check, and whatnot, and I was like, because like I saw the notification at the Spotify went out because I follow us on Spotify, and so I was like,
I also follow us on Spotify. So follow us on Spotify.
So I was like, why is it not on YouTube? And then I realized I scheduled it for the Saturday, not the Friday. So that's why that happened. That was very funny. And yeah. Just things that happen.
Where's my fucking book? Sorry.
Okay.
Listen, I hope you know that if I knew how to actually scream, I would have just screamed that, and I would have told you to leave it in, because I feel like it'd be really fucking funny.
Okay,
In transit to where? Where's the next fucking facility, you bitch? Because it's not my house!
You ready to talk about episode 6?
I fucking guess. I'm
It's,
just mad. I want my book.
It's, Truth/Dare.
Oh, fuck me. Okay.
So, we didn't talk about we didn't talk about, how everyone was running through the hallway.
We didn't talk about how they went to go see his dad.
That's this episode. That's how this episode starts. But we didn't talk about how in the previous episode everyone's running through the hallway, despite the fact that it's like after lights out. And for
yeah, because you really
teacher's names,
outfit.
Hutch, Nick, and Charlie, and so they're like, go back to your room. And then they go to
Mr. Farouk and Mr. Ajay. It's not complicated, bestie.
I can't remember people's names. Bitch, I don't remember your actual name 99% of the time.
It doesn't exist.
Exactly. And that's the only reason I don't care. So, they're at the, I keep on wanting to say cashier. No, vending machines. And, Mr. Ajay talks about how, like, the cute little gay moments of, like, being a teenager and whatnot, and basically saying that he's gay, and then Mr. Farouk is like, well, when you don't realize you're gay until you're mid to late 20s, you kind of miss out on those beautiful young gay experiences, which, like, valid. Also coming out to Mr. Jai, which is great because you also previously see, like, a scene of them being kind of touchy accidentally in their shared hotel room. Yeah, it's very important for this episode because things happen between them. Anyways, this episode starts with Nick introducing Charlie to French Papa, who almost as soon as they sit down, gets a phone call and has to leave. And at that point, Nick's like, I don't know if I'm gonna ever tell him, because, like, the only thing he knows about me is that I play rugby. He doesn't care about me. But while there, French Papa does say that he's gonna visit England soon. So, Darcy feels bad about...
Pause.
Okay.
Every time Vessel tries to do a heart hands, but he really can't. I can't. He's so cute. They're all just baby. What the fuck? Yes! Put the fuck out!
Jar. Put a quarter in the jar.
Look at him. Look at him, and then look at... Oh my god, just look.
Ship me a dog. That's the only way you can get penance for what you have done.
Did I send that to the right person?
If you
yes, I did.
When I message you about things that other people have said to me. Oh, sorry, I was paying attention to other things because someone I follow took their pets to their yearly physicals. And their pets are all very healthy. We love it. Especially since, like, recently their cat almost died. So, Darcy feels bad about, how Tara feels about Darcy not saying I love you back and all this stuff. So throws a birthday party in their room, makes this whole big thing. And she's like, it needs to be perfect for Tara, and then brings up the alcohol, and then Tara's instantly, like, downtrodden about it, all this stuff. So Isaac is not here for the party. He's like, I don't care. Goes out in the hallway and reads a book where James finds him, the only other gay guy in the school, and goes to kiss him.
Ugh.
And Isaac not into it.
I'm also not into it.
No, someone just lets Ben into the room, but Harry comes to the door at one point, and Tara's like, I don't want any homophobes at my birthday party. And Harry's like... I
wish I could draw, because I would just be drawing sleep token constantly, thank you.
Okay. And Harry basically apologizes for all the shit he did before. He's like, listen, I recognize what I did was wrong, just let me into the party. And Charlie's like, apology's not accepted, and slams the door in his face, and everyone loves him for it. It's very sweet. So, there's like a lot of minuscule things. Elle and Tao make out in the bathroom basically the whole entire time. There's a part where Charlie
Real.
barges in because no one knows how to lock doors in this goddamn show. And they're like, "Get out!" And he's like, "But I have to go pee." It's very funny.
Yes.
Eventually, it ends up being spin the bottle, truth or dare, where Tao kisses Charlie. It's very funny. Um, Isaac admits that he's never had any celebrity crushes. Cough, cough. Um, and then it lands on Charlie. And so who is it first they try to? Oh, they try to make James kiss Charlie first, and everyone's like, "That's just because the hickey rumors.
Aqua.
Shut the fuck up." And so they were like, "Okay, fine, kiss Ben." And then Ben's like, "I'm not kissing. This is gum." And storms out. You know, as
Can
Ben
I
does.
hold on? Can I jump in and go on a sleep token tangent again?
You got limited time, but go for it. You got
Okay,
7 minutes
there's a
left
song.
on
The
this
first song
episode.
on "Take Me Back to Eden," their third album that just came out, is called "Chokehold," and there's these weird ambient sounds, like in the beginning and in between the verses and stuff. And the more I think about it, the more it reminded me of like distorted underwater sounds. In their last album was "This Place Shall Be Your Tomb," and it had a whole underwater theme. And obviously, second to third album, the first song on the third album after the second album that has a water theme, having what I uh perceive as distorted underwater sounds. You see the thought process. You see what I'm saying. Can they stop being fucking geniuses? Can Vessel like give me like two of his fucking brain cells so that I could conquer the whole fucking world? Like, hello. Thank you.
Okay. Um. So,
I love you for putting up with me. Thank you so much.
Ben storms out as he does. So then they're
Boo.
like, okay, then who gave you the
He is
hickey?
so dramatic. For what? Jesus Christ.
Uh, because he's Ben. So they're like, okay, then who gave you the hickey? And then a bunch of people are like, hey, wait a second, that's how someone gets outed. Don't do that. Blah blah blah. And someone's like, it's a safe place. It's like, bitch, seriously, you're literally asking me a
The
question.
the
That
bitch
further
who
proves.
I don't know who the fuck it is who does this, but like I hate them. I don't
Yes.
like them.
By asking the question, you were proving that it is not a safe space. So, like, shut the fuck up. But Nick and Charlie share a look and then hold hands, and then Nick says it's him. He's the one. And people are like, oh my god, you're gay? He's like, I'm bi, actually. Um,
For real.
yep.
He's in fact bisexual, as he
And
should.
then Darcy interrupts the cute moment, because she's gonna be sick. They take her to Farouk and Ajay. Dumb, because, like, it's not food poisoning, it's her drinking too much alcohol, but Mr. Farouk is like, I'm just gonna pretend that you have food poisoning. But she does throw up on Mr. Ajay's bed. That's important. So Tara and Darcy are in the bathroom, sitting on the floor, after Darcy's been sick, and she says, "I love you," to Tara for the first time, and says, "You, like, it's may not seem real because I'm drunk, but, like, it's real. I do really love you." All this stuff. That's sweet.
Yes. I agree.
So, Mr. Jai's like, well, I guess I'll go get some, uh, new sheets from room service, and Mr. Farouk is like, or you could share my bed. And then it cuts out, like, the camera zooms out, so, like, we see them kiss, and then they go, like,
Unrelated.
off camera, and we can kind of see through the door of the balcony, and, see something moving. So, like, basically, in insinuates they tap that. Continue about your
Yeah,
token.
I was
Give me
laughing about
another
something
quarter.
totally unrelated. I'm on Twitter.
Oh my god, why? Don't you mean X?
No, Twitter. Fuck you.
Okay. And then everyone returns back home from Paris, the next day. Do you have anything else to talk about this episode?
There's no thoughts in my brain.
I believe in you. We have an extra minute now. So we're at 4 extra minutes total. Alright, next episode, penultimate, sorry. So Elle is accepted into the art school, and also to this art show. It's like queer and trans representation art show and whatnot. And she tells everyone that she got into the art show, but not that she got into the school itself, because she's worried about how Tao will react, and so she wants to decide if she'll go before she tells them and whatnot. The way he's so sensitive about it. But it's like this whole event where they get to all go to the art show, which is very cool. Except Darcy has to instantly leave because of her mother, and whatnot.
Boo.
Yeah. They go.
What if I
They all go prom outfit
kill
shopping.
myself?
Okay. They all go.
Sorry.
They all go prom outfit shopping, where Darcy finds this suit that happens to the inner lining happens to match Tara's dress, and so she tries it on. Everyone loves it, but she doesn't have the money for it, so everyone chips in so she can buy it. It's very sweet. Tara realizes that Elle actually got into the school, and she's like, okay, I won't tell anyone. They all go to the art show. It's almost instantly brought up that Elle got into it, and everyone's like, oh my god, and she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna go. So Isaac goes and looks at this art piece, and starts talking to the artist, who says it's about, I don't know their pronouns, so I'm gonna go with there to be safe, their experience being Arrow Ace, and Isaac, it just, clicks something in his brain. Gives me very much Loveless when, Georgia goes to...
For your benefit, I'm gonna wait to watch this video on Twitter of them.
Okay. It gives me, Georgia in Loveless going to the queer group, meeting, and then meeting Arrow Ace people and hearing about their experiences and something clicking in her brain, right? Gives similar vibes, and since they're both in vibes, Osman, it gives me that. Which is funny, because also another thing written by, Alice Osman that gives me, thrown in here to give similar vibes, is the, will they long distance aspect between Elle and Tao, similar to Nick and Charlie and Nick and Charlie.
Yes.
So, they show off Elle's art piece, and she says it's about, her one safe space when she came out, and it's the friend group in the art room. It's very cute.
I love them, for real.
And, Tao basically says, I don't want you to worry about me, about your choice. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about me. And there is a later point where he sees, he finds, brochures from the art school in her room, and she eventually is like, I want to go, and he's like, I know, you should go. We'll be long distance, it's not that big a deal.
Character growth.
I know, right?
We love that here.
So, Ben shows up to the art show and literally comes out of nowheres to confront
fucking
Charlie.
Ben!
Yep.
Oh, I forgot. This whole time Nick is wearing his fucking pink buttons down. Hell yeah! Thank you.
So, Nick instantly steps in front of Charlie to protect him. And I literally had to pause the show and be like, oh my god. But
so real bestie.
The whole time that they've been back from France, Ben's been trying to contact Charlie, and Charlie's been ignoring him. And basically Ben, says, listen, I'm not coming back to school next year, I wish I was you two, but, I can't be out because I wouldn't be supported and all this stuff. And
you can find support elsewhere, fuck your family.
Yes. It kind of apologizes, but basically, one of the reasons why Charlie says no is because, it's basically, not an apology, it's him demanding self-validation, and whatnot, accepting Charlie to just accept it. But also, this is where we learn, Charlie confronts him, and is like, you know the first time you kissed me? And at this point, Ben's smiling, and I'm like, yeah, and he's like, you never asked. And this is the oh shit moment. Yep. And the way that in the background Nick's just there being supportive of his boyfriend. We learn that the whole entire relationship, none of it was consensual by Charlie, because Ben never asked anything, which is where it becomes very evident that Nick always asks if something's okay or if he can do something. Even with the kissing of the neck that led to the hickey. And he didn't even talk about how, when Charlie went to kiss Nick's neck, Nick's like, I don't want to have sex yet, and they agreed that, neither one of, Charlie's like,
oh, if you can, will you cut in me yelling about that, too?
If I find it, yes, I will throw that in.
Thank you. And people are mad about that, too, that it's quote unquote unrealistic that these teenage boys don't want to have sex yet. Like, hold the fuck up. Yes, please be serious. Exactly! But think about it. They're 15 and 16. They've only been together 3 months. Nick is fresh out the fucking closet, freshly found out this information about himself. I don't think I think it's reasonable not to want to fuck in 2.5 seconds. Like, you know? But also, they're teenage boys. So, when you can regulate your emotions and speak healthily about the things you need or don't need and, like, consent, etc., you can deal with those things by yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot of that, and also Charlie being like, the way you treated me was so wrong, but the whole time I thought it was what I deserved for being gay.
I'm so fine. I'm
And
normal about
to
this
this
scene.
day, he still gets voices in the back of his head that like thinks that and all the stuff. And so like, yes, he hopes
Here's
that
the
Ben
thing
becomes
with
a
this,
better
though.
person and never hurts anyone ever again. But like, he does not want to be there for it and walks away. We love it. We love it.
Here's the thing. Yeah, at one point, Charlie is going to be quote unquote over it, but at the end of the day, even he could be like 5 million billion years old and like never think of Ben. But every once in a while, if he's not having a good day, the things that Ben told him are still going to affect him later on in his life, no matter what he's done to get over it. And that's the part that I'm gonna bash my head against the wall, because when you're that age and you have that type of relationship, it does not leave you.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So basically, there is a Nelson's in Spring dinner at Nick's house, so it's like Nick, his mom,
Fuck.
David, and French Papa, and then Tori, Charlie, and their parents, right? So French Papa is all like, so David's like, do you know how they met? And French Papa's like, no, and they're like, rugby, and he's like, oh, and you have girlfriends like, the girls love rugby, and I was like, yeah, lesbians, and all this stuff, so, French Papa's like, oh, that's pretty, blah, blah, blah. And then David, is like, I won't count on it, like, making a bunch of comments, about it.
This scene is so personal to me, that's all I have to say.
Basically forcing Nick to stand up and come out to his dad. Previously, before dinner, his mom did say, like, hey, you don't have to tell him, he doesn't have a right to know, and he's like, no, I'm not doing it for him, I'm doing it for me, hinting that it was planned. Also, I would like to know, I didn't talk about this in the first time we recorded this, but when Nick and Charlie show up, after school, I would like to know, or art show or something, I think it's after the art show, actually, David and French Papa are just very loudly watching the game. Meanwhile, Nick goes to help his mom cook, and Charlie instantly starts helping set the table. Like, hello?
Oh, also, before they go into Nick's house, they're, like, talking outside, and the whole, you did not just call me mate, supportive statement, yep.
Yep. So basically, Nick comes out to his dad, and he's like, I'm bi, Charlie's my boyfriend, and you don't get to have an opinion on this because you haven't been here my whole life. Sweet. Very well done.
Quote, if you don't care, then I don't care either. What if I do something so drastic?
And then also,
what if I do something so fucking drastic? Thank you.
And then he also confronts David for, basically bullying him, and doing all the stuff. He's, like, an adult, and, like,
this is so
he's
personal.
His brother, why are you treating me like this type of stuff? And leaves.
Very valid question. I also have that question.
Literally, French Papa tells David, I'm disappointed in you, and then, Sarah Nelson says, you have no right to say that, you've never been here. Nick and Charlie go outside,
I love her.
About
she's so real.
We hear in the background Sarah yelling at him. Also, I would like everyone to know when David went to do this, Tori literally gripped his arm. We love it and told him to not to.
We love Tori Spring.
But Charlie and Nick talk outside and whatnot. Very sweet. Yeah. So basically, That's what happens. Also, there's a part where Tori's in the bathroom and comes out to find David sitting on the stairs talking on his phone to someone. This bitch has AirPods. I would like everyone to know. About how he's gay.
Who the fuck? No. Who the fuck has their AirPods in and has their phone right up here up against their face to speak into it like a fucking asshole? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. This is the same type of guy who tried to make fun of his boyfriend or his brother for being bi by telling their dad and then be like, "Can you believe him, Dad?" So,
Anyways, before this though, Nick and Charlie go outside and they're like calming down, speaking, and then Nick's mom comes outside and she's like, I'm so sorry. He's so and blah 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 blah. And Nick's like, why doesn't he care? And she's like, I don't know. It's a sad life for him. And I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine, and I'm normal, and I'm fine.
We gotta do this fast because we have limited time, and I have multiple things to bring up still for this
Oh,
episode.
fuck. Go.
Tori comes out of the bathroom and sees David there talking to someone on his phone about how his gay boyfriend's so dramatic and all this stuff, and how could he make a scene. And she literally drop kicks his phone and is like...
Wish it was his face.
Yes. And she's like, if you ever do anything like this again, I will end you.
This is where the chicken thing happened when you were talking about during dinners when the chicken thing happened.
It's a very dramatic scene. I'm sorry. I messed up, but I got tongue-tied talking about this very dramatic scene. So their father goes to leave, hugs David goodbye, and then just pats Nick on the arm and says like, "I'm sorry, I don't really get this," says the man from Paris.
Yeah.
And says he likes Charlie and goes back to Paris.
We need to talk about the fact Nick does not hug him, and obviously Nick's love language is
he
physical
hugs
touch.
literally everyone.
Yes. So it's a very big deal that he did not hug his dad. Thank you.
Mhm. So, with the other gays, so Darcy has been staying at Tar's a lot, which is where we get to
There's a folklore poster on the background of this episode in Tar's room. Thank you.
But basically, Tara's mom is like, "Hey, Darcy, you have to go home eventually because, like, So Darcy's like, "It's fine, I'll go home." She goes home. There's, like, a black cloud in front of her house. But basically, she goes home. She's trying on her suit for prom. And her mom comes in, barges into her room. That's another thing. And we don't get to hear anything she says.
I would not be able to handle it, so I'm so glad we didn't.
We do learn basics of what she says, but we don't hear anything. It's basically, like, the earring kind of sound effect, where we don't get to hear anything, but basically she kicks Darcy out, and Darcy sleeps at the park.
I'm fine.
Time for the last episode. We have literally 1 minute to spare. That's why I was trying to do it so fast. And we're on the last episode. This is the most dramatic one.
We can have a little bit more time since we did good this whole time, right?
Maybe. Okay, I'm starting. So, Nick comes out publicly on Instagram, sharing a photo.
He's bi, actually.
Yes, of him and Charlie, and he says, "My boyfriend," heart emoji, in parentheses, "I'm bi," actually. Very funny.
He's
this
so
is
real.
when Elle decides she's gonna go to the art school Lambert, and Tao and Elle decide to be boyfriend-girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
Also, when Tao tells his mom, she's like, "I gotta tell everyone." It's very sweet. It's time for school prom. So, because Darcy's sleeping, at the park and whatnot, she does not show up for setup for prom, and so Sahar and Tara are kind of like freaking out, so they call up everyone else to help set up for prom, where a lot of people are like staring at Nick and Charlie and being like, what do you need? Like, you guys gay and whatnot, and every time they're
being fucking weirdos, yeah.
And then someone's like, "I knew it," and then people being dumb. Nick's
no,
like,
not
"Hey,"
dumb, fucking weird and gross.
Yes. Nick's like, "Hey, you want to stop to get lunch?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm fine." Oh, I'm fine. So Nick sits down next to Tao, who's taking a lunch break, and this is where we learn about Tao.
The parallel between this and the Charlie's birthday party.
Yeah. We learn about Tao's father and why he keeps his friends close. And in this conversation, we also learned that Charlie has never talked to anyone about the bullying. Like, cause Nick's like, we talk about it a lot, but we don't talk about that. And Tao's like, yeah, I don't know what happened either. And this is when Nick realizes, oh shit, he hasn't talked to anyone about that. That's not good.
No, it's not.
So it's time for Nick and Charlie to see each other in their prom suits for the first time. Where whoever designed that suit jacket for Nick, please get some help because I need help, please.
Yes.
But also, Charlie makes him close his eyes and whatnot, and he's like, I always
That was
find
so
you
cute, for real. I love them.
It's just them being cute. We love them. Little gays. He lifts him up. They go to prom.
They're just babies, for real.
Yeah, Darcy doesn't show up, and so Tara's like, oh, it's fine, she's just running late, but she's not, like, replying to any of her texts or anything, she's super worried, and so she goes to talk to Nick about it, and Nick's like, sometimes you just gotta be there, basically, is how the conversation goes, so she decides to go and find Darcy. Also, prom photos, Isaac's like, I don't want...
Also, right now, Isaac is reading Summer Bird Blue by Kimi Don Bowman. I read this book. There's also another through line that we'll get there in a minute, though.
Okay. So, basically, he's like, I don't want to take a prom picture on my own. That's weird. I never brought up how him and James had the conversation about, talk about whether Isaac liked him back, and, like, in the background, over Isaac's shoulder is Loveless. Very important. Never brought it up. But basically, he's like, I don't want to take a photo on my own. So they do a group photo and whatnot. He's reading.
As they should.
He also does leave prom to go to the library and finds a book about asexuality.
I the fact we didn't see Nick and Charlie take a picture together, and
yeah. It's fine.
Sure, it's fine.
Baby Queen is the band. Sahar is part of the band. Imogen watches Sahar, and there's, like, a hint that maybe she may be into Sahar. There's also, like, a whole thing at the art.
Please be single. Just, oh my god.
I know, right? She needs to be single for, like, 5 minutes. We've never seen her
single
and not have a crush on
I'm gonna say something controversial. What if I don't want her to like women? Like...
Yeah. Basically, the moral of the story, we did have a whole conversation about this yesterday when we originally recorded this, and the moral of the story is, like, if there was demisexual representation, we'd be okay with it, because, like, that's important, but at this point, like...
Leave Imogen alone as a character.
Some of the things Imogen says, too, it's just like, I'm not sure about that, fam. But also, Sahar is bi. There's a point at the art show where, like, Imogen is like, with Sahar here, you can't call me the token straight anymore. Sahar's like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm bi. Which is kind of important because we learned that once Imogen went to the boys' school, she kind of dropped Sahar. They used to be best friends, and whatnot, so, that's the whole thing. Anyways, Darcy shows up, after Nick and Charlie talk about how, like, they were so focused on, like, the whole coming out, they never, like, paid attention to the importance of the relationship in general, and how, like, Charlie doesn't want to be there because, like, it's just showing off that they're in a relationship and that they're out and proud, and which is, like, cool and yeah, but, like, it's not them and whatnot, which, valid. And then Darcy shows up and she's like, where's Tara? And they're like, to find you, because Tara, walking down Darcy's home street, knocks on her house. Her mom, Darcy's mom, opens up the door, says, I think a racist comment. I'm not 100% sure, and I couldn't find the exact quote, so I can't say exactly. But, goes to slam the door in her face, and she's like, oh, actually, I'm a friend of Darcy's, and, like, no one's heard from her all day. She's supposed to go to all this stuff. So have you heard from her? And her mom's like, literally, how am I supposed to know where she is? And whatnot.
I don't know, maybe that's because it's your kid?
Yeah. But basically, her thing is, like, she ran off, had another one of her tantrums, over an outfit. Can you believe that? If like, her own mother can't be honest with her, who can? Like, I just told her prom suit made her look like a lesbian, and then she stormed off and all this stuff. And that's when it hits to Tara, oh shit, Darcy is not confident completely 100%, because that's, like, a big part of the relationship. So, the whole entire friend group ends up at Nick's, house, and, so Tara and Darcy have a moment, while Seven is playing, where...
Yes.
Darcy
I have a very important story to tell right now. Is that okay?
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I have a friend named Jerica. We can have extra time now, okay?
No. You got limited time.
I have a friend named Jerica. I talk about her a lot. I wanted to be friends with her. I was like, okay, I'm going to be friends with Jerica. And then we became friends because of Folklore by Taylor Swift. And then this June, as of recording, and it's still the same year when this is going up. What the fuck am I talking about? We read Summer Bird Blue together. And then, when that happened, I bought her a copy of the book. And in that book, I wrote the lyrics to Seven. Love you to the moon and to Saturn. Because we met because of folklore. And then, in Heartstopper, one of my favorite things to ever fucking exist, Isaac reads Summer Bird Blue. And then, in the last episode, Seven.
Yep.
Plays.
During a very important scene where Darcy explains the whole reason why she didn't say I love you back is because basically a whole entire part of their relationship is that Darcy was the one who was out first, and her confidence helped Tara come out, and she wanted to be there for Tara in that way, but she's not confident like that. Like, at home, she's a completely different person, and she hasn't come out to her parents, and she never will, and all this stuff, and that's why she couldn't say I love you back. She felt like Tara couldn't fully love her because she didn't fully understand her, and Tara's like, well, now I do, and I love you, and then it's just them saying I love you back and forth a lot, while Seven plays, and then time-lapse of everyone just having fun.
Which is improv.
Yes, hide and seek where Isaac hides behind a pillow, while reading a book, iconic.
I love them. But the fact this is the whole scene after that is improv makes me want to do something so drastic.
Yeah. So eventually everyone leaves. And Nick and Charlie are in Nick's room. Where Charlie finds
Wait, pause! They all hug, then they leave, and then Nick closes the door. He picks Charlie up in a hug and kind of half carries him up the stairs, and it's so fucking domestic, and I...
Yes.
So, Charlie... It's the small, simple things that occur, just them being fucking domestic, you know? Like, I don't care about the big fancy shit, just be domestic and I'll cry!
So, Charlie finds Nick's summer rugby award, whatnot. And Nick explains that it's from rugby summer school that he got when he was 12, where he got best player or something like that, and it was looking back because he definitely had a crush on the coach or whatever. And so he wanted to impress him, so by impressing him, he tried his hardest, and that's how he got the award. And then he's like, okay, now I told you something serious about myself. Tell me something serious. And Charlie's like, what? And he's like, about the bowling. At this point, they are both sitting on the ground. So,
and Charlie is making himself as small as possible, and I'm fine. I'm so normal.
So, this is where we learn that, Charlie didn't understand how homophobic people could be, how people would come up and just call him disgusting to his face, and on top of the eating disorder stuff that started because of this, also, for control and assumably and whatnot, based off of other things that have to do with Charlie, he started to self-harm. I would like everyone to know that Stingray was screaming so loud while the scene was happening, and they're literally whispering into each other's face that I could not hear what Charlie was saying, so I did not get the full impact until the next day when I re-watched that scene.
Listen, I thought I was muted at this point, okay? I was out of it. I was not alive anymore.
Okay. So, basically, Nick's like, I would like everyone to remember, they are whispering, Nick's like, promise me, you will tell me if you feel like this ever again. And
what if I kill myself?
Charlie's like, but I don't want to be like the broken boyfriend and whatnot. I don't want you to feel like you have to fix me and all this stuff. And Nick's like, yeah, but like I've been through so much shit in the past few months, and throughout all of it, that you've held my hand through it, and I want to be there for you. So please promise me if you ever feel like this ever again, you talk to me. And they're whispering, and it's cute.
And they're crying, and it took them like 7 hours to film this fucking scene.
I was sobbing. Yeah. I literally was slamming on my walls.
Me too.
Charlie, or Nick is like holding onto Charlie's face, and is like, I love your hair, I love your eyes, and then
it just stopped!
I was like, my timer just went off, so we gotta do this fast. They kiss. Nick's mom comes home. Charlie leaves. Charlie walking home, smiling, texting out, I love you, to Nick, and then hovers over send, and that's where the season ends.
I'm so normal.
And that's it. That's the whole show.
And then we learned that the first episode of season 1 is called Love. I mean, season 3 is called Love.
Mm-hmm. The way we have to weigh the year for this. It better be when we get to see the scene of Charlie
It
telling
better
Nick
be
he
just
loves him.
no.
Well,
It better
Nick's in the shower.
start with him breaking out to Tao and Isaac and Elle about how he wants to tell Nick that he loves him, and then they go to the beach, and then all this other stuff happens, and then that
I just want to get the shower scene. You know, that sounds weird,
if
but
we don't get that, everyone will riot, and I think Alice knows it.
true. Um, but yeah, that's the show. That's season 1. I really hope this recorded properly.
That was season 1.
Or season 2. I really hope this recorded properly.
Me too, or else I'll kill myself with you.
You and me
Like
both.
you said, Hannibal style, even though I still haven't watched the fucking show. I'll just believe you.
One of these days, I'm going to show it to you. What am I talking about? It's going to be for my birthday, because I already said I'm going to do a whole entire multiple-hour Hannibal retrospective for my birthday.
Where's my book, bestie?
I'm not a book bestie anymore. I'm a show bestie. For those who want to know, yes, I got so much into, oh god, I forgot their ship name again. What's their ship name again?
I don't know, but I'm gonna watch the Sleep Token video I didn't watch earlier now.
No, not yet. I'd like
Too bad.
That I got so, into, Hanagram. That's what it is. Hanagram. The Hanagram ship that I almost started writing fanfiction. Because the 2023 AO3, like, most popular ships, thing was released and whatnot. And the way it went down on the list, not overall. Overall, it's fine. I think it actually went up one overall, but in 2023, it went down. And I was like, oh no, I have to write more. So for everyone, this is how I'm going to get back into writing fanfic. It didn't happen.
Oh, I'm going to be sick.
Happened. I believe in you. But yeah, that's Heartstopper season 2. If this doesn't work, I die.
Yes.
The end. Because I have already had a breakdown over this episode, and it wasn't even about the ending scene, of the show. I did cry, though. Which, means,
I also cried many, many times, don't worry.
Yeah, but you cried everything. I cried nothing, so, like... Which is why when you read the second Aerosol and Dante book, you're gonna fucking die, because I was sobbing hysterically. I sobbed more hysterically about Aerosol and Dante, book 2, than I did last night about the episode. Okay? And I was having a breakdown. I had a mental breakdown, and I cried more about Aerosol and Dante. That's the level of shit you gotta deal with, so I can't wait for you to read that book so you can...
What if I never read it then, huh?
Yeah, I keep on telling you to read it because the sooner you read it, the
sooner
I have to
you reread the first one.
And listen, I didn't remember anything about the first one. I just went right into it, and I was fine. So
I'm so normal watching this video right now.
Is it Sleep Token?
Yes.
Put another quarter in the jar.
The metaphorical jar.
Yeah.
Hold on, you gotta see it though, because I gotta send it to you.
It should be something.
Do you want more Sleep Token lore? Can I give you more Sleep Token lore?
Oh my god. It should be a thing where, like, every time you mention Sleep Token, we have to do another Jenica Snow episode.
Fuck!
That will make you stop.
It really won't.
Don't worry, I already have the one saved as a possibility about the, a very happily ever after.
Kill yourself.
I'm very excited to read it.
No, because they have a song called The Offering, and the whole thing is like, you have diamonds for teeth, so take a bite, and then all this other shit they're saying in the song, right. But here's the thing, every time they play that song, one of the members always kiss each other, right?
Seems a little gay.
Because they're all a little bit, it's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit gay. And he just got down on his knees for Vessel! and then in the full video you see him get down, and then Vessel kisses him, and then Vessel's all like, take a break! And I'm like, ah!
I love opening up X. Links you send me.
I'm so normal.
Okay. Say goodbye to the people, bestie.
Bye, people. I love you.